Right. So, very good evening, everyone. We'll be starting our presentation sessions now. Please raise your hands, and we'll go by the order of raised hands. Right. Yeah, guys. Please raise hands. Right. So, first we have Mohammad Saim with us. Yeah, Mohammad. Can share your screen and please turn on the camera.
Sharing my screen, right?
Yeah, and tell me your topic name.
Future location prediction.
Presentation is scheduled, right?
Yes, yes. Thanks.
Right. You can start.
Uh, is it visible like the entire screen?
Sorry. Can you?
Is it visible?
Yeah, your presentation is visible.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone. My name is Mohammad Saim. I'm from the Data Engineers Group. My presentation topic for today is future location prediction. So, let's get into it. So, first, let's see what the contents of our presentation are. First, we have an introduction slide, and then we'll go through some objectives and goals of our presentation, and just an overview model of what we are trying to predict. Fourth is we will go into data exploration and pre-processing, and then we will discuss about what the machine learning models that we are employing. And sixth, we will evaluate our model and see what evaluation metrics that we have achieved in our from our models. And seventh is the references, and eighth is the conclusion. So, so future location prediction. Let's start off with it. So, the whole point of this project is given a user, given a person or any entity, given a data set with some with its latitude and longitude along with its date and time, we need to predict the position of the user. And this position is mainly obtained by seeing the historical data set and seeing what the past occurrences or past places the user has been, and we try to predict from certain checkpoints that if the user has been in this particular place at this particular time, this then what route will it take next, and on that route we predict the latitude and longitude of that user or entity. So, what are the goals and objectives we are like achieving? So, let's explain it through an example. For example, like you are an investigative agency, and you are trying to like track a criminal or that kind of thing. So, what you can do is like you can track that criminal's past history, like what route he takes or what places he can goes, and you can feed them into a data system. Once you have fed them into a data system, you can employ a machine learning system and whole models to predict that, okay, that at this particular time, on maybe on this day, he will be at this location, and maybe you can try to catch him. So it's just like an example, like how this can be an application of future location prediction. So how its advantages to us, because it can assist us in making informed decisions based on some movements and patterns. And when I first heard of this, I was like, "Oh, only we can use this on like to track a person or someone, but it can be used for a various different purposes, like for example in infrastructure planning, to mitigate disasters, to see if, okay, like if for example, like recently we have the news of cyclone, so we can track that, okay, this cyclone may be taking this route, so we can make informed decisions based on those data. So this is an overview of what we are going to do next. First is, of course, the data collection and pre-processing part, like which was provided to us beforehand in the project. Second is, first we will calculate the horizontal position. That is, we will calculate the latitude using a particular machine learning model. And before like training our model, we will set them using some type of features. For example, like the training and testing, what is going to be split on how much percentage we are going to test the data, etc. And once we have got that latitude, now we can next consider the longitude. So based on the latitude data set that we predicted, we will next be predicting what the longitude positions will be. And once we have got both the latitude and the longitude values with us, we can finally evaluate our model. So tool that is used is Data IQ. That this was provided to us, like informed to us that we have to use this by the Hack with the team. So it's an end-to-end machine learning platform which combines notebooks and code to address the data scientist need. So it actually makes a task easier. For example, if we haven't used Data IQ, we would have to start from scratch from writing each line of code. With Data IQ, you can just feed the data set into the system, select the relevant model, select the relevant features that we are going to extract, and it trains the model for us. So it makes work easy. So this is the contents of the data set. First is like the ID. ID like is the identification number of any data set. Event time start and end are like what time the whole event that we are going to track is starting and ending. This is the start position of the latitude. This is the end position of the latitude, and similarly for the starting and ending positions of the longitude. So for in total, we have 7 dataset parameters. So before like training a model, one thing which is evident is because maybe because like this was a like kind of a task, we can see that we have a lot of redundant data set. For example, if you look at the latitude start position, you will see that the much of the values are same. So this can be an issue if we are working with like a real-time data set, but I'm guessing because it was like a test type of data set, that's why the value is redundant, so that we can incur the evaluation metrics easily. So now coming to like what the machine learning models that we are using. So primarily in the reference video that we were given, we were tasked with to first predict the latitude with lasso regression and then the longitude with XGBoost. So let's get into like why lasso and XGBoost are used. So lasso regression is mainly used in time series analysis. And the advantage of why we are using lasso regression is because it can take particular features and see what features are irrelevant. That means what features do not contribute to our data set. For example, if we talk about ID, like it does not tell us about any informative data like from which we can extract something. So these features it shrinks it to zeros. For example, so when we are training a data set, the features like ID will not be considered. So lasso regression is just that. It just takes the feature which are irrelevant and removes them. So this is particularly, and one more thing that lasso is that it applies regularization to prevent overfitting. So overfitting is when you predict your model, it's good on training data, but when you're going to test it for future needs, you're going to test it for future needs, it performs very bad on the test data. So that is overfitting. So it has a term called regularization, which treats overfitting. Secondly, so lasso regression was used for like latitude prediction. Once we have got a latitude data set, now we will employ XGBoost. So what is XGBoost? XGBoost is an ensemble learning model. So ensemble learning model means it combines multiple weak prediction models. So for example, like there are many weak classifiers coming from the lasso regression, and then what it does is combines all of them and tries to predict a strong classifier, strong regressor. So it is a type of like what you can do thing is it utilizes ensemble learning by combining some predictions which are not giving us some like very firm data of what they are trying to tell us. So it's second is the XGBoost. Third is something which I tried it on my own, which is the gradient tree boosting. So what it does is it can be used in the place of XGBoost. So it is best in capturing non-linear relationships. For example, for a with the data set which we were provided, which was a non-linear data set, because maybe there is no pattern, because a person can be taking any path. So it goes the gradient boosting performed very well with this type of data set. So this is the whole process flow of this. We will see this once I demonstrate. But you can see that we start with our location data set, and then we predict our latitude. And once we have that predicted our latitude and we have got the data set, we can predict the longitude and score them. Similarly, we can take the other route. We can again perform lasso regression. If you see the downward flow of the picture, we have taken a lasso regression. We have again got the latitude data set with us, but this time we have gone with a gradient reboosting for longitude prediction. So both these models worked very good with the data set. So these are the evaluation metrics. So you can see that the variance score was pretty high. That means both the models perform well. But again, like I said, much because of the data was redundant. That means the values were repetitive. It may just maybe because so it may be possible that there was some overfitting and there was some like it's too good to be true. That's what like data IQ itself in an pop-up said that this can be too good to be true, because in real-time data set the R2 scores like very unlikely to reach a score of 1. So one R2 of score of 1 means that it's the best model, and like R2 score of 0 means there is no collinearity with the data set features. So in conclusion, so we started with like what the objective of our project was. So it was like to predict the system's latitude and longitude coordinates with provided with a data set. And secondly is that with using data IQ, it made our task a lot easier to predict the models that we observe. And total of two models were actually employed, which was Lasso and XGBoost. However, for an extra reference, I also trained it on Gradient Boost 3. And for high valuation score was recorded like the R2 score was nearly 1. However, there can be some problem if there is too much redundant data and overfitting. These are the like the references that employed. One was provided with the Hackveda. Second was the data IQ documentation. Second was a journal paper that I studied for like location prediction systems. And fourth was also in like geolocation data type of informative article on Medium. And fifth was like a simple XGBoost regression explanation article. So thank you, and questions are welcome. I'll be just demonstrating my project. Just a sec. Is it visible, the screen?
Yeah, it's visible.
So like you can see, this was the flow that I also like pasted on the presentation. We presently, when we first load a data set, we only have the location data set with us. So like if you were to open it, you can see the data sets of like the ID, the event time start, the ending, and the latitude start, and all these which we already discussed. So coming back to the flow. So once we have this location data set, first we will predict our latitude using the lasso regression. So if we were to like open it, so you can see the lasso regression was trained on this, and the most important feature for lasso was the latitude start. So this was, and you can see in the diagnostics, it says that and the test set might be small for reliable performance, and the R2 score of 1 means it's a too good to be true type. So like it is telling us on the redundant data. And if we were to like see the So once like we have got this predicted the lasso on this and got this latitude data set with us. So if I were to like open the latitude data set, this is like the data set once we have predicted the latitude. So you can see the latitude and positions and the prediction. So like if you were to see the latitude and prediction values, these are almost same. That means that it was a good model and like we are receiving very high accuracy values. So these two we are like configuring latitude and prediction. So these are like very similar. That means it was a very good model to train on. And similarly, we will then perform XGBoost. So XGBoost is the second, which was to test on the weak classifier. For the most important feature for XGBoost was latitude end. And if we were to see the metrics of it, it performed on the variance score, which I also pasted on the presentation, like has a good R2 score of 1. So coming back to the flow, that's almost complete. So once like we have concluded with the this model, this is this same thing if you go with this flow, but however like in case of instead of XGBoost we can also take gradient boosted tree. So in the final we will also get a longitude score. So if you see the longitude score, you can see if you see the prediction and the end position of the longitude, these are the ones that we predicted, and these are almost same. That means again it was a very uh, trained very well on the training and testing data. So that's all from my side, and questions are welcome, of course.
So are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, same. So okay, your flow was very nice. You started with a very good hook story, and there was a good introduction part, like the what is like what is the future prediction and how it's used in like real life. That there was a very good hook story you used there. Then talking about the formatting part, your PPT is very well formatted. It's a very well structured. So there was a very good thing about this PPT. Then see, there was a reference slide, conclusion slide, and thank you slide as well. So you have done 100% from your side for PPT formatting. Is just see when you explain things. So when you came at like 10th slide, right? So after 10th slide, just go with the demo part, right? Go with the data set that is being provided to you. You should be showing your data set first and then start your demo part explanation, and shouldn't just complete or every slide of the PPT and then go for the demo part. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, hope you understood. So like go for the 10th slide and then go for the demo presentation. And after that, go for the conclusion, reference, and thank you Q&A. So that will be a very good ending of the presentation, right? So the start was good, the demo was very good, and you explained everything very quite properly, like the lasso regression advantages and then the XGBoost why we use it. In all, the presentation was very good, quite well explained. That's all I have to say. Hope you understood. Right. Yeah, I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let's move ahead, and next we have Harsh Kumar with us. Yes, Harsh, you can share your screen. And tell me your topic name.
Good evening, sir. Am I audible? And is my screen visible?
Yeah, you're audible and your screen is visible as well. Tell me your topic name.
Yes, sir. Sure. So the name of my topic is Python stock screener, and I am in week 1. So it is my first presentation on the basically large project. So let's get started. Shall we start, sir?
Yeah, sure. You can start.
Okay. So first of all, let me tell you a very brief story why are we doing this? Actually, what's the purpose of making this product? So, in the vibrant city of Mumbai, nestled amidst the bustling streets and towering skyscrapers, lived a young and ambitious investor named Raj. So, we have Raj in the scene, coming from a small town basically, in the city of dreams. Raj was determined to uncover hidden investment opportunities in the stock market, but the data was basically vast. As we all know, it's not easy. But the vast ocean of data overwhelmed him. One fateful day, Raj stumbled upon a revolutionary tool, the stock shifter application. Intrigued, he swiftly installed it on his smartphone and began exploring its features. With a few taps, he could filter stocks based on a specific criteria that mattered to him, like price to earning ratio, yield dividend, etc. etc. Excitement filled Raj's heart as Stock Swift application swiftly presented him with a curated list of promising stocks. With a deep dive into the financial performance and market reports, Raj unearthed hidden gems that aligned perfectly with his investment strategy. Earlier, he had a problem. He was overwhelmed by the vast ocean of data. Now, with this application, Stock Sifta, he is quite he's quite comfortable picking up the finest stocks for him. Buoyant by his newfound knowledge and user-friendly interface of the Stock Swifter app, Raj made confident investment decisions. He invested in undervalued companies poised for growth, such as Mumbai-based tech giants and emerging business from Bangalore vibrant startup ecosystem. So Raj used the app quite well. Over time, Raj's investment portfolio flourished. The stocks he discovered through the app outperformed the market, bringing him financial success. News of his achievement spread like wildfire among his friends and colleagues who eagerly sought his advice. So Raj was now a financial guru. Soon, Stock Sifta application became a game changer for aspiring investors across India. Now we are specifically talking about the app. It empowered them to navigate complexities of stock market with ease, uncovering hidden opportunities in the fast-paced world of Indian finance. As we all know, India is a growing economy, and we are expecting a very good percentage return in the upcoming years. With the Stock Swifter app at fingertips, individuals from all walks of life discovered the power of financial potential. Like we already told, Raj was from a small town in Bombay, but he made his way. No longer overwhelmed by the overwhelming data, they confidentially navigated the stock market, uncovering opportunities in Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, and beyond. The Stock Swifter app became a symbol of empowerment, transforming the way people approached investing in India. It brought clarity, simplicity, and a success to countless investors, forever changing their financial destinies. In the ever evolving world of Indian stock market, the Stock Swifter app became an indispensable companion, guiding a new generation of investors towards their financial dreams, one curated stock at a time. So, how beautiful is this Stock Swifter app? Now we are going to make this app, and I, through this presentation, want to convey to you the overview of the project that we are going to make, that is Stock Swifter application, timelines, and a few mockups. So let's get started. The contents of this presentation: the overview, stakeholders requirement gathering, what information the stakeholders provide us. Then we will define the scope of our project. We'll plan the deadline, timeline of the projects. We will mention the features and functionalities that are required and that we can build using Python. Mockups that I have made using Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator, which is a pretty advanced tool used by designers. And the final conclusion, and then a question and answer. So let's get started. Project overview. Our project revolves around creating a stock screener application that empowers users to filter stocks based on specific criteria. With this application, user will have the ability to screen stocks using various parameters such as price to earning ratio, number 1, dividend yield, number 2, market capitalization, number 3, Like we will be able to sort the medium, large, and small companies according to the market cap that they are holding. To accomplish this, we will leverage financial data APIs that are available. For example, the Grow app, the Zero app means how these apps are able to retrieve real-time information. So there are some APIs available there that track or that sends the real-time value of the stocks. So we will be using them. Furthermore, we will prioritize creating an intuitive and user-friendly interface to enhance overall user experience. As mentioned earlier, this is an app for empowering people from all walks of life. So we want to make our interface quite intuitive and easy to go with. So stakeholder requirements. So we have read several documents, studies, and interviews of the stakeholders. We have researched various resources to gather the needs and expectations. We read interviews, surveys, meetings to ensure we captured a comprehensive range of requirements. So they are fast and reliable stock data retrieval. So it should be within seconds that we should be able to update our data. Flexibility to filter stocks based on different financial matrices like the market cap, like the profit to yield ratio, etc., etc. Intuitive and user-friendly interface, ability to save and export filter stocks, and real-time updates and alerts for significant changes in the stock data. For example, if there's a crash or a user wants to look upon a particular stock to go up above a certain value, then we will notify the user. Defining project scope. To ensure a focused and achievable project, we define the scope by carefully considering the stakeholder requirement. We have outlined the key features and functionalities that our stock screener application will include. So let's talk about the functionalities and the scope. So price to earning ratio filtering. So user can filter the price to earning ratio, what stocks maps to a current ratio of the profit price to earning, dividend yield filtering, market capitalization filtering, and additionally, we will include other features based on stakeholders' requirement, ensuring our application meets the diverse needs of our users. Project planning. So as it is a quite heavy project, we'll plan out. Creating a detailed project plan is essential to keep our project on track and ensure its successful completion. Our project plan includes the following elements. So let's see the timeline, the visual representation of the timeline with proper milestones and deliverables that we have created. So we have divided the whole project into 4 parts, 4 milestones basically. The first one will be API integration and data retrieval. It will be implemented during the next week. So we'll integrate the financial data APIs to retrieve real-time data for stocks. We will research and identify the appropriate APIs that are available and create scripts to fetch data. We'll do it using Python scripts basically. So the second week will include algorithm development and implementation. So in the first week, we have implemented the fetching of data through API integration. In the second way, we will develop algorithms to filter the stocks based on user criteria, such as price to earning ratio, dividend yield, market capitalization. So we will basically design the algorithms from the pre-built data structures in Python to filter out the data. For example, if the market cap of some stocks are 2, 5, 7, and 8, for example, in hundreds of CRs. So we have a data structure in Python called sets that basically, so if we just put the data inside our set, it will be sorted in ascending order. So likewise, we will implement data structures and algorithms for the data received through financial APIs to help our application filter out according to the constraints provided by our user. So that's it. user interface and design and implementation. Coming to the third week, we will design a Python GUI, that is a graphical user interface, using PyQt or Thinker or PyQt to implement the interface. It should be user friendly, and we will also integrate the backend functionality that ensures user can see the filtered results in real time. So coming till the third week, our application will almost be made to be used locally. In the fourth week, we will test the application and finally deploy it. So we can deploy our application in Heroku or AWS, that is the Amazon Web Services. And it will be a public application to be available to everyone. So we will first test the application, and then we will deploy it to either Heroku or Amazon Web Services. So to deliver an application that truly caters to our user needs, we invested time in understanding their preferences. We have studied the feedbacks and the surveys that were already conducted, and this understanding influences our design and helps us prioritize the functionalities that align with user needs. For example, a large majority of users are interested in the profit to yield ratio. So we will keep it as first option of filtering in our UI. So these are some examples. So features and functionalities. Price to earning ratio filtering. Users can set a minimum and maximum price to earning ratio to filter stocks that fall within the desired range. Dividend yield filtering. Users can specify a minimum dividend yield to filter stocks that meet their desired dividend criteria. Some stocks provide dividend to the users on an annual basis or so. So users can check which stocks provide dividend or not and how much percent. Market capitalization filtering, as discussed earlier. Additional features will be included on the user's requirements, such as ability to compare multiple stocks. For example, I want to compare the stock of Dabur and Patanjali that basically captures the same or similar market. So I will be able to do that looking at their market cap, their rate of growth, etc., etc. And I can receive customizable alerts or notifications. So let's look at the wireframes and mockups. So basically, wireframes or mockups are basically a design that how our app should look like. Wireframe is the basic version, and mockup is a more detailed design version. So for the wireframe, we planned a header for home, our portfolio settings, etc. A filter section, display section, and pagination and sorting. If there are multiple stocks that fall within the same category, then we can scroll or go to the next page, etc., etc. So let's look at our mockup of the app. So this is my first page. Here is the logo, a welcome thing. It will ask for us to log in. That is the continue button here. Here we have home page, our portfolio, watch list, and contact us page. So this will be our search and filter option. I made this using Adobe Illustrator. It will be basically be a drop down. So here we can, it's profit ratio, not profile ratio. It's profit ratio, market cap, and shareholding patterns that we have set as filtering criteria. A green colored will be displayed for the stocks that are currently up in the market. It will be for intraday, as we are looking and filtering for stocks. On the third option, we can see our portfolio, all the stocks that user have purchased, and the color will indicate whether it's in loss or profit. We will make our product open source, so we will include our Git repo and an email ID in case user wants to contact us. In conclusion, our stock screener project application aims to provide users with a powerful tool to filter stocks based on their specific criteria by gathering requirements from stakeholders, defining the project scope, and creating a detailed project plan, we are confident in delivering a high quality application. Understanding user needs and incorporating their feedback throughout the development process ensures that our application will meet the expectation of our users. So all the different surveys and studies and normal trends have been taken into account for building this app. Now let's answer some popular questions. So can this so we want the explanation of how this app retrieves real-time data from financial APIs. So this app integrates reputable financial APIs that we have selected, such as Alpha Vantage or Yahoo Finance. So these are the trusted ones that we can use. How customizable are the filters in the stock application? So there are highly customizable. For example, user can define specific criteria such as price to earning ratio, dividend yield threshold, market capitalization brackets, etc. User can adjust these filters according to his or her investment strategy and preferences, enabling him or her to find the stock that is the perfect suit for him. Third question, can the stock screener application handle a large number of stocks efficiently? The answer is yes. The stock screener application is designed to handle a large number of stocks efficiently. It utilizes algorithms and data structures to process and filter large datasets quickly. As said, Python is a very fast language. Of course, there is an upper limit, and this is not a professional project as I am the sole developer behind it, but Python can handle a large number of stocks or data. Fourth question, does stock screener application provide any additional analysis or insight beyond basic filtering? Yes, it can offer tools such as informed investment decisions. For example, user can access detailed stock profiles, historical performance chart, like how this particular stock has been performing over the years. These features provide a comprehensive view of stock, enabling him to access its potential more accurately. Can the stock screener application track and manage a user's portfolio? Yes. If we if we purchase a stock and mark it in our portfolio, then we can track the stock from that particular date of being marked, that it is high or low. That was in the third page that I shown in the mockup. And the last question is the stock screener application available on multiple platforms? So yes, it can be available on multiple platforms, but we will host it first on AWS or Heroku. So for the references, I have used free code camp tutorial, media blogs, I have read multiple of them, some Git repos, Adobe Illustrator for mockup, project planning and role allocation blog at technologyblogs.com. So thank you. This was it from my side.
Right. So are you done, Harsh?
Yes, sir.
Right. So are you taking any questions?
Yes, sir.
Like, can I ask you some questions?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Right. So according to you, can you list 6 features of your stock screener application?
Features of stock.
6 features that you would like to implement in your project, in your app.
So for example, sir, it can have its dividend value, that the stock provides particular dividend or not, how much dividend does it provide, its market capitalization, like how many crores or how many dollars the stock is currently worth it, whether it is listed in NSE or BSE, that will be implemented by the API that we are using. Its current yield, like for the intraday we can see, and over the long term that we can see and filter out by the timelines.
That's it. That's it.
Yes, sir.
That are those all the features that you would like to include in your application and not any other.
Uh, like user can mark whether a particular stock is being purchased by him and track the particular
Like, so
stock in
you are
his
talking about
portfolio.
real-time data, right?
Yes.
And so that's like one feature, na? So like give me exact specific feature, not to like not explain every feature, just give me an exact specific feature. 6 features that I asked.
Like for a particular like 3 filterings are there basically according to market capitalization, dividend yield, and the profit earning.
Right. So what I'm trying to say here is, see, it's good that you have done this demo part, and I don't usually see a demo for this because it's overview of project synopsis, so you don't have to do demo part. But since you have done it, that's very well. Uh, and see, when it comes to like stock screener application and everything, so security is like the main concern. Right. So there was no point of security in your PPT, entire explanation. So there was no security. Like, what are you going to do for the security purpose?
Sir, basically we are not purchasing any stock from this application,
Mhm.
and we are only retrieving the real-time data.
Right.
For example, but and the API can't be hacked. Like for example, we are using a specific API, for example, Yahoo Finance. Then it's the sole responsibility of Yahoo to govern it. We are only retrieving the data from there, and we are not actually purchasing the stocks from our application. For
Okay.
example, I can purchase the apps from Grow or somewhere else and mark that in my portfolio that from this date I have purchased this share, and from that onwards it can track the details and total profits and etc etc.
Right. 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 Good. See, let's talk about the PPT first. So it started with a very good, like a long story, which is a good thing. It's just you don't have to accumulate so much data in a single slide. You can add pointers, liners to it, and then explain them because I can read them myself, right? So you
Sure.
don't have to include everything. Do some liners, pointers, like 6 to 7 lines in a single slide, and then go with the actual task which you have to explain. All right. Can you just scroll down? Yeah. In the like 8th or 9th slide itself, I can see like some at some slides there were like bigger font size, and at some slides there were like smaller font size. So that shouldn't be happening. You should be like following a uniformity throughout the presentation. And when you like talked about the uh, four category like API integration, and I think it was like 10th slide maybe. So in that as well, it's like 11th slide. So in that as well, it could have been like divided into 4 slides, so and not just
Okay.
yeah, in a single slide. So
Okay.
because you didn't even zoom, so if like someone is
Mhm.
hard to read your PPT, so they won't be able to get the exact what are you trying to say, right? So
Sure, sir.
either
Sure.
you zoom it or you just
Mhm.
divide it into 4 slides. That would be a good thing.
Sure.
And see, when you like end the presentation, there should be a Q&A slide. It's good that you questions like put some questions
Uh,
there and answer them by yourself itself, but that should not be the
just
way.
a second, sir. Can I speak something, please?
Yeah, sure.
Yes. In my previous presentation, the
Mhm.
instructor asked me to include the story and the question answer session. So I included that uh,
You
as I
said
was being asked.
this was your first presentation, right?
This was my first presentation for the Python stock screener application. Like we have been given 5 weeks for this project.
Okay,
So
okay, right. Okay, okay. You've been told to include questions.
yes, we have been told to include questions that like the questions that can be asked. So we have been told to include it already in our slides.
Maybe it was like it was to just add a Q&A slide and not to include exact question and answers.
Okay.
Yeah, he must have told you to like include Q&A slide. So where like during the ending part of the presentation, you ask people if they have any questions.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, like that. You have to like ask people like if they have any questions, and at the bottom of it, like in the Q&A slide itself, just include your Gmail or GitHub link. So if they do have any questions, they can reach out to you at your Gmail, right?
Sure, sir. Sure.
And talking about the reference part, can you just scroll down to your reference slide?
Yes, sir. Just a minute.
All right. So here it says free code. Are those links or just text?
These are just text, but
Right. Yeah. So in references, you should be adding links. Like you included Medium blog, but which blog? Right. So you don't have to like include text. Just add the link which you have used, because all this data must have come from different resources, right? Different sources. So they should be included in the reference part. All the
sure.
links, right? And thank you slide was there itself. All right, conclusion. Okay, so you just miss the reference properly, and then the Q&A. You don't have to include exact
Okay, sir.
questions
I'll include.
yourself. Yeah, you don't have to include exact questions yourself. Just include a Q&A slide, right? So
Okay, sir.
for that you can
Maybe it
refer.
was, maybe I misunderstood the
Yeah, you must have
feedback.
misheard it. Yeah, because
Okay.
yeah, you must have misheard it, because you can refer other presentations as well, what they do at the end part of the presentation, right? So
Sure.
I believe that's all from my side. It was a very good presentation.
Thank you,
Well
sir. Thank you.
explained. Yeah, sure. Right. So
May I stop the screen?
yeah, you should, yeah, and stop sharing. Right. So let's move forward. We have Mahendra with us. Yeah, Mahendra, you can turn your camera on.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. You can share your
My
screen.
name is Mahendra Jangid. I am from Cyber Security Group. I am currently pursuing for CCNA exam.
Yeah, and
Share my screen.
yeah. What's the topic name?
Understanding operating system security. This is the third part.
Okay, okay. Understanding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is my screen visible, sir?
Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah. My name is Mahendra Jangid. I am from Cyber Security Group. I'm currently preparing for CCNA exam. And this is the third part of operating cyber security. And this part is understanding cyber security and operating system security policies. And this is about audit policies. And the sequence will be what is audit policies, what is audit securities, and a type of audits and events and tools. What is OS? OS security audit means we can say when somebody from another company or a government from a government, somebody comes and inspections our security or our company, like a bank. Government proves it that it is safe to keep your money, then they go public and they start their safe houses, and you can say safes and everything. So this also goes for operating system. Is it secure for using or not? So this is all about operating system security. There are two type of basics security audits: basic and advanced. Basic is mostly like we means the user can change it, like turning on real time settings off, turning app scanning off. You can scan your laptop or computer anytime for viruses or anything. And advanced security audits, like they are actually maintained by the Microsoft itself for Windows and by Apple for Mac OS. So what they can only change, a user cannot change them. The events that can be audited mostly, like audit account logins, like how many users are using a single PC. So every user can set up their sharing, what they want to share with others, what they want to allow others to see information. Like if a single computer machine is used by 2 person, they can be create 2 accounts, like user 1 and user 2. They can even password protect it so that the other person cannot use it. Even the drives will be separated, the data, whatever they download, whatever they save on that machine, they will be separated by the accounts and users. So nobody else can access that data. Audit account management means like my superior can, like I'm working in a company, I'm given a specific machine. You can say like the machines that laptops that companies give, that we cannot watch videos on them. YouTube will not run, nor you can do other things. Only some softwares like Microsoft 365 or Office will run, or some browsers only, and limited apps you can run on them. So what can do? My superior can see whatever I'm doing on that, and even if I try to do, like somebody or a hacker can try sometime to try break that rule so that he can, you can use that machine as a personal. So that should be managed. What is directory accesses? Audit directory service access, like monitoring what the system is doing and system can control. Like somebody, if you lend your laptops to somebody, has he had changed settings or not, or you can even change it to administrative, so that every time somebody change the setting they need a password, so the administrative can only change that. So, or if he doesn't enter the password, the setting will be uh, ask for password, or otherwise if you restart the machine it will go to default setting. Login events, like if somebody tries, or like even we sometimes enter wrong password. So what happens? The machine in directory cd, current directory, it saves a txt file or a plain file where it shows successful logins and unsuccessful logins. Successful logins are the we type correct password and we get access, and failed attempts are the ones that somebody else tries to, or sometimes we type the wrong password and it's so the machine maintains everything in it. So we always should change for that, check, sorry, not change, check for that if anybody else has tried or not. Like I'm out from my house from 1 to 3 p.m. Yeah, after coming at 3:30, logging in my machine, I should check whether it is being tried to access or not. So it can show us that. Objects means like auditing objects, like means has anybody copied your data, no copied or not, shared your data online, and when it's like managing your files or personal things or server files, or somebody has saved your shared or saved your files or not. Policy changes, like has group, like if you are working on a group computer, has anybody changed policies, audit policy changes. GPO means group project, group policy objects, like you use a group object, or you can say you use a group machine, like a machine that have access in a single account to many person, what they can change, what you can say. So you should never save your data on that, so that it will be secured for your purpose. Audit privilege, like I told you, administrative should have privileges or other shouldn't. We can set our machine like that, only like that, so that only the administrative person can change the settings, and otherwise the settings will be default, nobody else can change it. Audit person staying, like which systems are running in background. uh, Sometimes what happens, software automatically stops, so there is a reason, so it creates a, like you can say it creates a crash file. So we should check what is happening with the system that it's making it crash, or what is it, something wrong with the system, or it is something wrong with the application. So it helps to audit everything. Audit means like if you um, if you check that the app has crashed, and you want to report it to the user, or you can say developer who has developed the app, you can report that so that it will improve, and from next update it will not crash. Audit events means like system audit events means like checking everything, log in, log out, restart, shutdown, update. It actually maintains every detail of the PC or laptop, whether it's been updated, whether time zone has changed, whether camera is on, has camera permissions changed. Like I keep my camera permission on, always ask. Somebody can say allowed all the time. So if anybody changes, audit system manages everything. You can change what changes are made in that. Fine. These are some tools that are used, operating system auditing tools. These tools can be used both sides. It's like, you can say it's a double-sided sword. It can be used for good and for bad. Metasploit can be used for weaknesses, for checking if the IP is available and or any port is available or not. And Metasploit is also used for creating payload and sending it to the user and for accessing that. Nmap is used mostly for exploring open ports and everything like IPs. Even Nmap, we can whether check the what type of operating system the opposite person is using, what is a processor, what's his GPU. We can check that, but we have to get information. There are many. There are different, like name says, Suit, Wireshark, AirNG, Hydra. Hydra is a logging tool. I know some of these tools, and I don't use everybody, but I have used Wireshark, Hydra, Metasploit, and Nmap. SQL map, it's mostly for, I don't know anything about SQL, but it's mostly, I think, related to tracking and debug. And immunity debugger is also a powerful tool. You can whether check you in your software, does it have any open windows or not. If anybody have questions, they can ask me. Sir, I'm done.
Okay. Right. So talking about the PPT first. So you have like followed a very structured manner, and the flow was very nice of the PPT. You have used good colors in it. So the formatting part is good. It's just see, this is not your first presentation, and again
Yeah.
I'm going to remind you. See, all this data where you have gathered, so there is no reference slide for it at the end at the end of the presentation, right? So have you forgotten to include it, or
What's up? I'm not
yeah,
getting.
there is no reference slide
I'm not getting.
at the end. So am I not audible?
Yes, you are audible clearly.
Right. So at the end of the presentation, you have to include
Yes.
a reference slide and a conclusion slide, like where you conclude your presentation. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you trying to find in your PPT? I'm not
I'm not finding anything, sir. I'm
Okay.
just looking
So
for any.
right. So at the end of the presentation, you have to include a conclusion slide itself as well,
Okay.
and followed by a reference slide.
Okay.
Right. So that should be included at the end. See,
Okay.
you started good. Uh, then there was auditing and security auditing tools as well. So you have not used many, as you said, but can you explain any one of the tools the mentioned this?
I use Metasploit,
Right.
Nmap, and Wireshark.
Right. So what does this Metasploit do?
Metasploit, with MS Venom, we can create a payload.
Okay.
Then we can, you can say, we can harm the other machines. We can upload it that, or we can use it in a app mode. Like I will send you a link. You will
Mm-hmm.
download the app. Then you will install it. Then my Metasploit can scan what type of weaknesses your computer have, and I can get the access of your OS operating system, and I can do anything.
Okay.
Even I have given a presentation regarding that.
Okay. So what's
Yeah.
the difference with Metasploit and map?
Nmap is a scanning tool, and
Okay.
Metasploit is like a hacking tool. You can operate anything, but with Nmap you cannot operate anything. You can just find the vulnerabilities of the machine and
Okay.
what type of operating system using, what type of processor it is using.
Right. Okay. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to ask, because you mentioned that you have used them, but if
Yeah,
there was like a small short explanation about each, then that would be more uh, like more knowledgeable. So
yeah.
see,
I'm just used for 2 to 3 days for my presentation. I just learned the basics, what they do, what we
right,
can do
yeah,
with them.
that's actually necessary, because you are talking about aware security, so there has to
Yeah,
be some extra information which you should be delivering, right?
yeah.
So yeah, and you talked about the auditing tools, right? So can you give me short summary about like what does this auditing tools do?
Auditing means it maintains everything. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can say, it's like a jail.
Mm-hmm.
When somebody comes to visit that, it will be the details will be written in the book, logbook. It's like logbook. It will return everything, like every click, everything, what we have made changes, what's audit policies does that, but in a separate base. Like
Okay.
security audit will be a different. If you're doing something browser on a browser or application, it will be in different. You can directory. Everything will be load. You can say logged, but on a different place. You have to find that particularly. And
Right.
some logs are on online only. That we
Okay.
can't access. Only Microsoft can access that.
Right. Right. So the way you explained this thing should have been added to your hook story. Right. So you directly jumped on the main topic, but there was no hook story. So the things which you explained me could have been added with your hook story part. Right. So that's what I want to add here. And rest, as I said, there was a reference slide. So you should be adding a reference slide and a conclusion
Yeah,
slide. Okay.
sure. I'm glad.
Right. So that's all from my side. Right. Hope you understood.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So next we have lovely Pangotra with us. Yes. You can yeah, stop share. Nice.
Yes.
Right. You can share your screen, please.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. What's your topic name?
Is the screen,
Yeah, it's visible.
I'm audible?
Yeah, you're audible as well.
All right. So my topic is to make a doctor search website.
Okay.
And my name is Lovely Pangotra and I'm from Manipal Institute of Technology. And that's my topic that I just talked about. And I'm doing an internship in the full stack web developer option. Yes. So do you want me to share the presentation already?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So this is a presentation that starts with healing the web. That's a doctor search page using Figma and PHP. This is the project website that I've just embedded down here, and it's presented by me. So the project goals are to design a web app, a website using Figma or Adobe XD. But I've used Figma because it's free and it has a lot of templates to choose from as well. And we'll be using a proper layout to design the website, because using a proper layout is very necessary in terms of visual appeal of the website. Then we'll be using HTML generator to convert the layout that we just created into CSS and HTML codes for the desired website that we want. And we'll be creating the database of the website that that will have a database to fetch the data from, and the user will enter some certain things that he wants to search the database from, and he'll be searching it from the database, and the website will be showing it to the user using PHP, HTML, CSS, and database that we created in 000 webhost.com. So we'll be performing testing on the database that we created on the 000 webhost.com using Postman and also manually. But I've usually done it manually in the inspect tab of the Chrome or any browser of my choice. And then we'll be integrating it with the backend using PHP. Then the main part of the website is designing the website. Then that I've done with Figma. Figma is actually a very powerful tool that allows us to select from a various sphere of templates, and you can choose from those templates certain templates that you want. Like I've used the doctor search app or the doctor search website. That templates you can use. You can take references from here. There you can take various pictures that you want from there, and you can create your own layout, your own way in which you want a website to be designed. And it is very collaborative, as in you can collaborate with your friends or your partners who, if you are working on a group project, and it'll allow consistency of the website, as if two persons are working on a certain design, and if one person make a different design and other makes a different design, they'll make the whole thing a very tedious task to do. But Figma helps us with the collaborative nature of it. And Figma also has some inbuilt UI and libraries. They'll help us design the buttons, forms, and icons. and it also has some plugins which will help us generate the code, generate the code from the layout that we just created using the design tools in Figma. So the next task is creating the layout. If a designer or the web developer doesn't create the layout in a very specific way, or the way that's very eye appealing, as in for if he's designing the website for an older audience, he should make the font a little bigger. Or if it's designing for the younger audience, he should make the font a little smaller for the visual appeal of it. And a proper layout makes or breaks a website. As in, if you don't make it visually appealing, if you don't make the user stay on the website long enough, he won't click on some links, because you actually created the website because you want the users to scroll through it, right? But if you don't make it visually appealing, the user will soon forget about the website and just move on, right? And I created this doctor searching website because nowadays there are a lot of doctors in a lot of cities, and it'll be very easier for the users to, if he's able to search a particular doctor of a particular type, like let's say I want to have a neurosurgeon or a dentist or a dermatologist, I need it very urgently, right? And I need it in a particular place, like let's say I'm right now living in Manipal, I need a dermatologist in Manipal. I can quickly open this website, add the category of the doctor like dermatologist, add the location in which he's living, like I'm living in Manipal right now, so Manipal, and then he can add the then he can just search search through the database. And if some doctors are available on the database, the website, what this website does is it'll easily show it in a very eye appealing manner to the user, and the user will be very happy in the end of the day. And that's what we want from our website, right? So after this is the UI of the website, and this is the main page or the designing page of the Figma. And this is the what I've designed in Figma using various layers, using various frames. And this is the frame that I selected to export it to HTML generator. I used the HTML generator plugin to generate the HTML code from this website, to generate HTML and CSS codes, which I can later use to create a similar website as well, a similar looking web design, right? So this is a Figma tool that Figma interface that I use, and these are some of the plugins that could be used to generate HTML codes and CSS codes as well. So right, this is Anima. This paid version, so I wasn't able to use it. This loco file, it wasn't giving me some proper code, so I didn't use it as well. Not even PX code. What I used was a website name HTML generator. I know the name sounds very obvious, but yeah, that's it. This is the HTML generator. It took the frame and generated the HTML, CSS, and other codes as well. See, all the assets detected are shown in over there with all the things that I use in my website, in the design of my website. Okay, so then I used 000webhost.com to host my website, and I used HTML to create the website, CSS to style it, and 000webhost to just create a user to host the website and also create a database. Then this is all the websites that I had in my local desktop, that I created in my local desktop, then ran it on my local computer. And after that, after I got to know that all the websites were working properly, I just uploaded them to 000webhost.com. I also checked, then I ran this website. I also checked if the website is working properly. I checked it against Postman. I checked it after inspecting it, after using the network tabs and all the other tabs and console and all the things that are available in the browser. So this is the front first part of my website. If you tap home over here, it'll refresh the website. It'll again land you to the same page because this is the home page of my website. And if you tap to the find a doctor, it'll take you to a lower part of the website in which you actually do the search result. And it's just the beautiful user interface. And this is also one of the good things because I use the color combinations like yellow and green. this is same throughout the website. If you like do various color combinations or just don't make a color combination at all, that will just disappoint the user. It won't be eye appealing and the user will just leave the website. So this is the database that I created in 000webhost.com. So these are various doctors. This is the information of the doctor, and this is where they are located or based. And this is the second part of the website. It's just some information and just some visual appeal. That's it. And then I connected my website with the backend. First of all, webservice.php is a file that I created. As you can see over here, this is the webservice.php. This is the HTML file that I created. Here are all the images of the website that images that I'll be using in the website. Here is where all of them are located. And this is where I style all the website. And SCSS is just to get the font. And okay, so the web service.php used to create a connection between front end and the back end. The front end of the website will be connected to the back end of the website, and jQuery is actually used to take the input from the user, and it'll send the input that it took to the web service, and the web service will take the thing that jQuery sent it to him, and it will what it'll do is it'll search it or do some functions against the database, and after doing the functions against the database, it'll send it back to the front end, and the front end will be rendered by the browser and will be displayed to the user. That's the summary of that is explained in the slide itself. And then this is the JavaScript part of the file. Whenever the document is ready, or whenever the website is loaded, and whenever you click on a certain attribute of a, I'm sorry about that. And whenever you click on a particular attribute of a attribute or just a ID of a whole web page, then this click function, what it'll do is it'll take the ID of D type, it'll put it in doc type, and it'll take the ID D area and put it in D area, right? And what this thing does is it'll map search to doc type and area to doc area, which will then be used by PHP file as search, and search param will take the thing that's mapped to search, and search area will take the thing that's mapped to area. And then this will be searched inside this SQL command that you can see over here. The database would be searched using the connection would be first created with the database using the connection MySQL the query that we wrote over there, and the SQL query will help in searching the things that we did, like doc ID, doc name, and doc info would be displayed, in which the area is like what's the area that we inputted, and the doc info or the category of the doctor is like the category we inputted. So let's say the area we inputted is Manipal and the category inputted is ENT. So it will search all the database in which the category is like ENT and the area is like Manipal, and it will display these three attributes of the table. So it'll just display it as it is, and this is how it displays. So find a doctor is the thing, and in which we took, this is the category and this is the area. So I inputted the category ENT, we input the area, and if we do search over here, we click on it, this is all the doctors with that particular category that will be found in that particular area. Then if we have a dermatologist in Delhi, if we don't have a particular thing that's mapped to a particular city, then none of the doctors will be found. And if we have multiple doctors in particular area, it'll be shown in this particular way. And these are all the references that I used. I used Geeks for Geeks, YouTube channel of Hackveda itself, then Tome.ai to help me with the presentations, and Figma to obviously help design the website. And that's it. Any questions, sir?
Right. So are you done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, your task is doctor search website, right? So
Yes,
usually you should be showing a demo part.
okay, yeah,
Yeah. So not just the snippets, but the actual working of the website.
Sure.
Right.
Sir.
Yeah, you have it, right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
this is the website. This is
Yeah.
the website link I've embedded in the first page of the website as well. So what home will do is it'll just refresh the website because it's the home page as well, as I already described, and find a doctor will take me to this part of the website that's over here. So the user won't have to find that particular place in which they have to search the website, search the particular things. So find a doctor will take me to here. And let's say we add a thing called like dermatologist in Kolkata. So what this will do is it'll take this part of the website away and it'll display some other part. This will on-click function on this, and doctors found in the area this.
Right. Okay. Right. So see your website is like unique to the rest of that I have seen before. Right.
Okay.
It has good colors and it's kind of eye catching. Right. So, but as you mentioned before, like if you are building a website for elderly, you will use bigger font size and for like. But see, you don't have the control over
Yes.
which person will visit your website, right? So
Yeah.
uh, a medium font size, which is not too big, is not too small, can be used for your website, right? So for
Yes.
that explanation which you gave.
Yes.
Also, see, show me the demo again, the
Yes.
result, right? Yeah. So in the ninth video of your reference
Yes, sir.
videos,
Yes, sir.
in the ninth video, you have to display your results in horizontal manner because see, at present in your data set there are less number of doctors and category everything, right?
Yes, sir.
So it's nice yeah, that there are two doctors available in that region and you want a dermatologist, right? But if you had like bigger data set, so it will go very long, na? Your website will look very long, you have to scroll down.
Actually, that-
Yeah, the user have to scroll way down
yes, yes, yes.
yeah, so that shouldn't be happening. So what you have to do is your actual demo part is not complete until you have displayed the result in horizontal manner as shown in the video.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, because it's shown for a purpose, like so that uh, your page shouldn't go too long. Yeah,
Okay.
website shouldn't look too long. Yeah,
Understandable.
right. So what you can do is just edit it with use CSS and display it in horizontal manner, and then again uh, submit it in technical support, your GitHub link.
The presentation, the PPT.
No, not the PPT, your demo, your website. You have uploaded it in GitHub, right?
Not GitHub, sir. I haven't uploaded my website in GitHub. I just
Right.
in the
So
website link.
you have the files,
Yes,
right?
sir.
So you should create a GitHub of your GitHub and then upload all these because see will be getting many more projects, right?
Understand.
So just keep make your own GitHub and start uploading each and every project in it.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah. So at time of resume building and everything, you can just include your GitHub link over there.
I was thinking of updating my GitHub, sir. Yes.
Yeah, so just create one and upload it, and then upload that GitHub link to the technical support as part of your task.
What I used to do was I used to just send this link, the link of my website directly towards the technical support.
Yeah, you can do that too, but just edit, just use CSS to display it horizontally, and then submit it and your PPT as well.
Okay, sir.
Right. Okay. And then talking about the PPT, so it was good. Like you explained every tool individually, so that was a nice thing, and you started good. But see, when you came to the creating a layout slide, at that time you actually explained like the hook story part. Like let's say you are here in the region, and then you need a doctor, so
Mhm.
you need a website, right? So that should be explained at the very start of the presentation.
Yeah, that's
I,
when it like me,
I
sir.
was
Yes.
while you were explaining, I was like, see, at this slide, he is explaining the hook story part, which should be explained at the very start of the presentation.
Yes, yes.
Right. So that should be happening. You can actually, before giving the actual presentation, you can practice beforehand.
Sure.
So you can evaluate yourself, like whatever am I going wrong and everything. Right. So your demo part was good. Your website is very eye-catching, and then you have used reference slide as well and see, your code was good. Like you explained your code as well, which is a good part. And in all, your presentation was very nice.
Thanks.
Right? Yeah, it was simple and good. And I believe that's all from my side. But you could have explained. You could have shown your postman as well. Like you missed your postman.
So I actually explained that I usually did it in the manual way. I went to the, should I show it over here? Like how I did it? I did it in a manual way.
Yeah, I use this snippet, right?
No, I use the network tab of it. If it's taking the
Okay.
data
Yeah.
from the website, then I
Okay.
assume that it's working.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. See, when you explain a task to people, like to your audience, you have to explain it such a way, like so that they should understand each and every step which you have gone through to make this website.
Yes, sir.
Right. So it's not for your only; it's for them as well. So the people who will going to use like who is going to make such website in future, they can use it your website as a reference. How did you make it?
Understand.
Yeah, they use postman service to check it whether your website is actually working or not, right? Yeah, I believe that's all from my side as well. I hope you understood.
Understood.
And yeah, sure. Just use CSS and to display it horizontally and submit it in the technical support. Right.
Sure,
So after every task, you need to submit your PPT and your demo in the technical support. You will get
And
that attached symbol.
do I need to send the progress every day, sir? Or should I just do it after my task is done?
Yeah, see, you actually have to submit it every day.
Okay.
So because every day you will do some of the other things. So just you can take a snippet of your current that day current progress and then submit that JPG file to the technical support. Right. And at the end you have to submit your task last progress. Okay.
Really appreciate your
Yeah,
evaluations.
sure. Yeah, sure. That's what I'm here for.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Do you have any general query?
No, yes, sir.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
Right. So since we don't have any more presenters here, we'll be ending our presentation session now. And yeah, a very good evening, everyone, and thank you.